Because in this position, Rashid Nezhmetdinov sacrificed the rook! Rook takes f6. The idea is actually very straightforward. It just has to do with control over the d5 square. Now you would think that move makes no sense because your rook is gone. You have no attack anymore. An entire potent, powerful attacking piece is gone. But what's more important is the knight coming to d5 because black actually cannot take this knight. It invites way too many problems. So instead of that, black goes here. Now Nezhmetdinov slides the queen over to the f2 square, fights for the dark squares and threatens stuff along the f file. Tal now has to jump in his knight and give it away. Now, do you think Nezhmetdinov will trade the bishop for the knight or the knight for the knight? Traditional wisdom tells you knight for knight is probably better. It's better to preserve the bishop. No. It's better to take with the bishop for two reasons. One, you need to preserve the knight to apply pressure. Two, it's all about timing. You get the rook into the game as fast as possible. E takes f4, and just before we do that, we lunge into the center of the board with e5. We surrender the control of the knight completely, because if bishop takes d5 is played in this position, you open up the king. Rook e1 is a devastating threat. Bishop g2 is possible. Queen e1. King would go to f8. I would then bounce the king back into the center like a ping pong ball, and I would play rook e7 and devastating impact would arrive, as well as rook d1, which obviously just wins the queen, which is also good enough. e5 opens up the position. You're looking to bring in the rook like this. Now, Tal plays bishop takes. Tal never want to shy away from a fight. It actually, according to the engine, would have been better to play bishop h4. There was no stockfish back in the day. Tal tries to defend himself like this, but he forgets who he's playing. Rashid Nezhmetdinov sacrificing yet another piece on the f6 square. Now queen to d4. Look at this. The knight standing on the outskirts is just preventing the king from sliding over and getting out of danger. Now, the bishops are still staring at each other. The rook is still pressuring. Nezhmetdinov was a god amongst men when it came to extracting the maximum effect of devastation with his pieces. He just bulldozes the position, queen d8, and now the way we get the queen into the attack is very simple. We sacrifice the rook again. Two rooks sacrificed in one game. This is hardly a sacrifice. This is more of a discovered attack. Tal accepted the capture. Queen h8. The king is mercilessly hunted into the center of the board, and pawn takes f5. And Tal resigned